This screencast is on determining the number of valence electrons in elements from the periodic table and drawing Lewis dot diagrams. Determining the valence electrons from the periodic table is actually quite simple. What you need to do is just look at which column the element is located in. All elements in the first group have one valence electron. All elements in the second group have two valence electrons. We're going to skip over this middle section of the periodic table. Okay, we're not going to talk about their valence electrons because they're a bit irregular. And we're going to come all the way over here to the column that begins with boron, and those elements have 3 valence electrons. Next we have 4, 5, 6, 7, and the last column has 8 valence electrons. The one exception to this is helium. Helium will only have 2 valence electrons because it only has 2 electrons total. Okay, so again, to determine the number of valence electrons, all we do is look at which column the element is located in. So for example, magnesium has 2 valence electrons because it's in column 2. Selenium is going to have 6 valence electrons. Lead will have 4. Krypton will have 8. Again, helium will have 2. It's the only exception to the rule. So Lewis dot diagrams are just a model that allows us to represent the valence electrons that are present in a particular atom. So what you want to do is look at the periodic table to determine how many valence electrons the atom has. At most, it's going to have 8 valence electrons. We draw the symbol for the element, and carbon has 4 valence electrons, so we represent those with dots, and we draw the dots around the element. We always want to place 1 dot on each side of the element, so top, right, bottom, left, before we go back and add a second dot. Compare carbon to oxygen. Oxygen has 6 valence electrons, so I'm going to place 1 dot on each side of the element before I go back and add a second to get to a total of 6 valence electrons. Argon has 8 valence electrons, so I place 1 on the top, the right, the bottom, the left, and then I go around again placing my other valence electrons. The only Lewis dot diagram that's a little different is helium. In helium, we place the 2 dots beside each other, and that just lets us know that we have a full outer shell even though we only have 2 valence electrons. So valence electrons, how many electrons are in the outer shell, and then the Lewis dot diagrams are how we represent those as a model. For these practice problems, draw the Lewis dot diagram for each, take a picture, and upload it into Schoology.